So the Lord God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep. And while he was sleeping, he took one of the man's ribs and then closed up the place with flesh.
7, 6, 5, 4.
Then the Lord God made a woman from the rib he had taken out of the man, and he brought her to the man. The man said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, for she was taken out of man. That is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh." I set my alarm for right there around 4 o'clock to get up, but usually I wake up beforehand. It's as though God just wakes me up. I read the Bible, and then I pray, and then I try to be still and listen for His voice, His guidance. Hi, my name is Billy Burley. I'm living here in Lompoc in this house, and I used to work for NASA. Y'all come on in and let me show y'all around the house a little bit. So the weather over here in Lompoc is exceptional. We don't have air conditioning over here, and so we keep the doors and windows open for a good bit throughout the year. I was a skinny little introverted kid. Had a speech impediment and tried to talk, but a lot of people didn't understand me. My body told me that I belong with the boys, but my thoughts, my mind was saying that I belonged with the girls. And I didn't know which way to go. Wanted to be like my sisters. I thought I should be like my sisters. And when my older sister started wearing makeup, I started playing with some of her makeup in the bathroom. And then in the 6th grade, when I was on the Summer League swim team, and we had a new diving coach. Well, what he would do is, when he had a chance, he would play with me. He would fondle me and try to get me to have an erection and just continue to play with me. Lompoc is a nice town. It's quiet and it's small. I was a little bit apprehensive going into surgery, but also a little excited too. Finally, we're at this point. And after going into surgery and then coming out of surgery and being in the elevator, I asked somebody, "Is it gone?" And they assured me that it was gone. And I was very relieved. I was losing a lot of blood through the surgical site. What they did was kept putting gauze into my new vagina, but I was excited. I was excited that finally this is done. This is now behind me. So now I'm starting my new life. Come on, kids. Come on, come get your clothes on. Come on. Come on, buddy. 7 years after transitioning to a woman, I started thinking, okay, I've been doing this for 7 years now. My problems should have gone away by now, but they hadn't. And I actually had more problems at that point. Another problem is just trying to pass. Trying to do my hair just right, trying to do my makeup just right, trying to look just right to where people would not be uncomfortable, because you can see when people identify you as being transgendered. I was like, this isn't life. Nothing has really changed. I'm still struggling. I was better off as I was before the surgery, before the hormone treatment. So it was at that point, 5 years after the surgery, thereabouts, that I started to have thoughts about changing back. That's my student ID from LSU. That's when I was swimming at LSU. I had a really big Adam's apple, heavy brow ridge, pretty big jaw. This is the ID after I had SRS surgery. And then when I was transitioning back to male in Louisiana, that's the driver's license I got. I had a lot of other pictures from that period, but one day when I was sitting in my office looking at the pictures of me back during this 7-year period, 7-8 years as being female, it was so discouraging that I wasted so much of my life in this particular period doing all of this, that just in the state that I was in, I erased all of the pictures that I had off of the computer and destroyed the pictures of me from that period to try to erase that period in my life. With God's help, I went through the change and I went back to being male. So I went through that surgery, and on the backside of it, I was in so much pain and so much discomfort, and regretted that surgery more than the first SRS surgery that I had. And then when he took the bandages off of my stomach to show me the skin graft, I was almost horrified at it. To me, it was gross. But it was by that surgery and the paperwork that the surgeon gave me saying, when I had the surgery done initially, he gave me the paperwork that said, okay, I've been surgically changed to male. When I met Rachel, I was already legally a man again. Hey, baby doll. How was your day? Her and her daughter came over to my house for a Fellowship of Christian Athletes meeting. And it was there that I first met her. And that was in 2010. And from there, I invited her for a coffee.
And I didn't know what that meant. So I asked one of my classmates, what does that mean? One of my younger classmates. So she said, well, that's a safe way for asking for a date or trying to meet up with somebody. I shared with her my past and what had happened and how I was. And at that time, she said, okay, let's be friends. We had shared the same interests, like what I was saying. We both like doing, especially swimming, but triathlons, we liked hiking. I don't know, I know he will say he remembers one time we went on a hike and we sat down for a rest and on a bench, and I just kind of sat close to him and put my head on his shoulder. And it was at that point I knew our relationship was changing, and that it was okay for me to start pursuing Rachel in a romantic way, and I did. Excellent. You're good. The intimacy between Rachel and me, with me being surgically altered, I cannot come to an orgasm. So Rachel and I, we enjoy intimacy. Oh, isn't that wonderful, fresh air? Fresh air is good. It is beautiful, and I'm praying for a little bit more rain, because if you notice up here, the green is starting to turn back to brown. he asked me pretty soon, after a few months, if I'd marry him. And I think I thought about it for not too long, maybe a week or two, and responded yes. My older daughter said it probably best, is they wanted me to be happy.
To you, babe.
Oh,
I love you.
I love you.
Did you taste it?
It's kind of tough.
It is. But it's still pretty. It's still pretty tasty. I am so happy I am the way I am now. Even though I have problems, I have a choice to let my problems burden me, or to look up, to see each day as a beautiful day, and just to enjoy life.